Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder Express.
Yay and choo-choo!
Yay, indeed, Jimmy. Yay, indeed. My name is James Petrogallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmy Wisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today on another crazy, wild, insane edition. Scott Peterson comes up in this, and a whole bunch of... There's a lot of weird stuff going on in this case.
The police guy or the other one?
No, the Scott Peterson. Scott Peterson. You ever heard of him?
Wasn't that police guy named Scott Peterson too?
I think he was. Yeah, because we were talking about that. That's why that was maybe an inside joke, but that's fine. That's all right. Let them. Right. I like that. That's good. They can look for him after that. So thank you so much for joining us. Yeah. Definitely head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Check that out there. Get tickets for your live shows, everybody. They're coming up quick here. Milwaukee looks like it's sold out at this point.
Wow.
I saw a 0 on the thing. So thank you. The Pabst is sold out. We're very excited to go there and perform. We love that place. The next night, though, Minneapolis, September the 19th. Still some tickets left for that at the State Theater. Get in there and
Come
get those.
Find out why the Pabst sold out.
That's right. It's going to be great. And then October 3rd, Dallas, October 15th or October 16th, 17th, San Jose, Sacramento, and then November 13th, 14th, Terrytown, which is almost sold out, and Boston as well. So get your butts in there, asses in seats, and let's go. We are excited. Shutupandgivememurder.com. Also, get Patreon. My God.
Oh,
it's so good. Patreon.com/crime in sports is where you get all of the bonus material. Anybody $5 a month or above, you get it all. Everything. As soon as you subscribe, almost 400 back bonus episodes immediately in your feed.
Yeah.
New ones every other week. Tons of stuff here. This week included what you're going to get. You always get one crime and sports, one small town murder, and you get them all every other week. This week for crime and sports, we did old timey articles and they were glorious.
Yeah.
They were absolute. There was some crazy shit going on back in the day there.
Find out about a piles pole.
Just going to say a pile. What was it? A pile pipe?
Piles pole.
Pole or pipe? Pipe. It was a pile pipe. Then find out all about it. Then for Small Town Murder, Love After Lockup, Season 7. Yeah. Oh, God, did we have fun there. Find out all about the craziness. And a lot of that was in Nevada, which is where we are this week, too, which is interesting here. So get that. And in addition to all that material you're going to get, you're also going to get everything we put out, all of our shows, all ad-free as well. Yeah. That includes crime and sports and your stupid opinions. And you're going to get a shout-out at the end of the regular show, too. So it's as much as we could possibly give you for $5. There you go. Patreon.com/crimeinsports, just like the name of our other show. That said, I think it's time, everybody.
Let's go.
Sit back. What do you say? You want to clear the lungs here? A little bit of that here. Arms to the sky. Let's all shout. Shut up and give me murder. Let's do this, everybody.
Okay.
Let's go on a trip, shall we?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to Boulder City, Nevada. Here we go. Boulder City. You know where that is?
Yeah. I think I've heard of it. No, I haven't.
You've probably passed it on the way to Vegas because it's kind of out. It's about a half hour outside of Vegas. It's southeast, I believe, of Vegas.
Then I've definitely seen it.
Kind of the place where nobody goes in Nevada. So it's about 30 minutes to Vegas, about 7 hours and 15 minutes to our last Nevada episode, which was Minden, Nevada. This was all the way back like the week of Christmas. It's been a long time, Nevada. It's hard to find Nevada cases that aren't in Reno or Vegas. It really is. It's one of the more difficult states. So they're a little fewer and farther between. That was episode 660, Bloody Twat Plot. I almost said Bloody Twat.
Bloody what?
Bloody Twat Twists is what I came out of my mouth. Jesus Christ. I need to get more sleep.
My God, I want to hear that episode.
Bloody, I don't think you do. I don't want to hear anything about bloody twat twists. That sounds awful. Holy shit. You got to see a doctor for that. If you got that, everybody, please see a doctor because that is not going to go away on its own. Especially with the twists in there.
That doesn't just end every 3 weeks.
Jesus Christ. My God. All right. This is in Clark County. God damn it, I'm dumb sometimes. Clark County, area code 702 and 725. Population here, not very many, 14,868. So it's right outside Vegas, but pretty small
why would
town.
You? Right.
Well, yeah, it's nothing like Vegas, too, as we'll find out. No. Like, it's not really a suburb. It's weird. Median household income here is just about the national average, $69,746, although median home cost is well above the national average. That is $417,600 to live in a small desert town outside of Vegas. That sounds
When Vegas
awful.
is booming and it's right there.
Right there. Their motto, their nickname, their everything is, quote, home of the Hoover Dam, because that's all they care about here is the Hoover Dam. Everything's this dam festival and that dam festival.
Oh, boy.
This is a town, little bit of history. It originated as a federal company town. Yeah. So you had these company towns with railroads and stuff like that. This was a federal company town because they were building the Hoover Dam. It's the only reason this place exists is because they built the Hoover Dam.
I've heard that shit's not even dry yet.
It's not dry. Oh, the cement, you mean? That's a lot of cement. Yeah. In 28, President Calvin Coolidge signed the Boulder Canyon Project Act to build a major dam on the Colorado River. So this was his project that Herbert Hoover then came in and slapped his name on.
You motherfucker.
That is amazing. Herbert Hoover's an asshole. That's why he lasted 4 years and then completely was drummed out of office because he was a dick. And then the Depression started on his watch. Not good. Right. He had a bad time. People arrived, job seekers arrived and lived in like shacks and tents and shit around there. It was disgusting. It was called Ragtown is what they called it here. It is hot here, by the way. Hot.
Fucking A. Yeah.
Really hot. I mean, this is where it gets 120 on the regular. Yeah. It's so goddamn hot. Yeah. So imagine living in a tent when it's 120 goddamn degrees outside. That sounds
all you got
horrifying.
Rags.
Man, you got a tent, for Christ's sake. It's gross. So they built this town after that. The federal government and Six Companies, Inc. was the name of the company. It was a construction consortium with a bunch of ties to the federal government, obviously. They planned a model community designed by a landscape architect. Is how they did it, with Spanish colonial revival and all kinds of tree-lined parks and fan-shaped layout radiating from the Bureau of Reclamation Administration building. So this all goes up in like 1930, 1931, because this is a huge project that takes years and needs so many people to work on it. So, you can't just have people living in tents for 5 years while they build this thing. It's not going to work. Right. It's a federal reservation, it's known as. So Boulder City banned both alcohol and gambling at the time.
Is that right?
And imagine you can't even get drunk after you've worked on a dam all day and watched probably 4 or 5 of your friends die in the last week falling into concrete.
In the early 20s, right? Or early 1900s, right?
This is the 1930s. So it's the middle of the fucking Depression, too. It's like if I'm poor, I'm getting drunk.
You can't even be you can't even get drunk.
So what they would do is there was a checkpoint gate to make sure this was to keep out union organizers. God forbid these guys get paid a fair wage. So they had these checkpoints, and they would also search them for alcohol and shit like that. So basically, up to the checkpoints, there was piles of liquor bottles all the way up where people would throw the bottles out before they got to the checkpoints. So there's just piles of liquor bottles going up to the whole thing. The dam was completed in 1935, which was actually ahead of schedule. I mean, if you're willing to kill half your workforce while you make something, you can put something up quick.
You can build some shit.
Fucking totally. The city wasn't a city until 1960 is when it incorporated. Really? The no gaming prohibition is retained and is one of the only 2 places in Nevada that has no gaming allowed. Only a couple of towns in the whole state. Yeah. Desi Arnaz Jr. came here and built a theater. So that's interesting.
Really?
Yeah, that's cool. Here's reviews of this.
Theater.
No booze theater. No, that's right. No gambling. Here, I think there's booze now, just no gambling still. Right. Reviews of this town. Here is 5 stars. I would describe Boulder City, Nevada as a place of comfort and relaxation. It has a small town feel with the amenities of a big city being only 15 minutes away from a big city. The traffic is light, the crime is so low, and the community feels like a family. Okay, this next guy, it's a rant, and so I'm just going to read it as a rant. 2 stars. I was raised in this used to be amazing town, but the city council changed everything, built more homes. Cops will stop you going 1 mile per hour. Very true. My friends have told me. So it must be true. It's I saw it on Facebook, so obviously it's true.
Yeah.
Cops used to be awesome, but the older ones retired. Now the new cops harass you because they're bored. The DA Morris will not look at the true story or evidence and will bring the most worst penalties. The most worst. It's written by a 7-year-old who's mad at their dad for taking their fucking PlayStation away. This town has truly gotten so bad that I'm moving my family out of the town. Even with no HOAs, the city will harass you and send you letters in the mail saying no stuff on the side of the house. Truly sad how cops and the city council have ruined this once awesome town.
Yeah.
Ugh, you can't be a dirtbag anymore and have fucking El Camino engines hanging from your trees.
Like trash around here, and now they don't want it.
Things to do here. The best damn country jam.
You bet.
I had to pick which damn festival we were going to pick because there's a bunch of them here.
There's the country one.
The country one. Food, carnival, family crap, your typical festival. Yeah. The performers, Des Hostin, Hoston. A rising star in the modern country music scene, which means they're terrible. Known for his raw and unapologetic approach to his storytelling in his music, with song titles like "What Happened to the Cowboy," "Drinking 'Bout You and Me," "Drinking 'Bout You and Me," "You Shouldn't Be Here." So it sounds like he's just trying to be an old guy, but he's not.
Well, he's singing songs that already exist, so all right.
Over and over and over again, forever. The Rhyolite sound, Rhyolite sound. I don't know. Formed in Las Vegas, the Rhyolite sound brings their own desert honky-tonk to the stage, blending elements of outlaw, rockabilly, honky-tonk, blues, and rock and roll. The Rhyolite sound are purveyors of pure honky-tonk in an impure world.
Oh, boy.
They performed with Willie Nelson and then a bunch of other people that I've absolutely never heard of. They put Willie Nelson first. Yeah. Whitey Morgan and the 78s.
Whitey Morgan's a fucking genius. I love that guy.
Co Wetzel, Dale Watson, Blackberry Smoke, Junior Brown. See what I mean?
They're all good. Yeah,
They're all good. You know these people?
Yeah.
The Reverend Horton Heat, Wanda Jackson, Shooter Jennings, Mike and the Moon Pies, American Aquarium, and many more.
Shooter's Wayland's kid, James.
Oh, that means he's great then. That doesn't help. That doesn't do anything for it. And they all say they open for the same people, by the way. And then there's also Zach Ryan and the Boys, bringing an electric live show of classic country music and real rock and roll.
The real kind.
Yeah, covers. They perform tributes to Waylon Jennings, John Lennon, Tom Petty, and Leonard Skinner,
real stuff.
Of course. John Lennon, Leonard Skinner, same thing. Okay, that said, let's talk about some murder. What do you say, everybody here?
Okay.
All right. Let's go back to June 24th, 2003. Here we go. Now, this is outside of Fresno, California. Let's start there, which has nothing to do with Boulder City, but we'll talk about it. California Highway Patrol officers are doing basically on rest stops. They're going through looking for stolen cars. They're just going through looking for certain plates they're looking for stolen cars, going through doing all that. So just kind of what they do in the middle of the night when they're fucking bored.
Right.
So they're going and finding and doing this. They find what they believe is a broken down car on Clovis Avenue, just north of Freeway 99. It's on the side of the road outside of a rest area, but not in the rest area. So they think it might have broken down.
Yeah. And as a cop, you got to be careful about running these plates and shit, because if you find out that it has something attached to it, now you just got yourself some work to do.
Well, now you just made yourself a night. That's the thing. Yeah, now you got to worry about paperwork.
Now you got paperwork, you dumb shit.
Yeah. You probably stop about an hour before your shift's end just to not get into anything, So they're looking at it, and as they're looking at the car, they realize there's somebody in the car. Okay, this is not an abandoned car because there's a man asleep in the front seat, in the driver's seat, passed out. So they find him, and they check the registration. They learn that the man in the front seat, he tells them who he is. He's got a driver's license. He's Perry Carl Monroe. He's 29 years old, and he lives in the Alameda area. So this is kind of on the way up there if you keep going pretty far. So they check the registration of the car just to make sure it's not stolen here, and they realize it's not stolen.
That's great.
So you'd think that's the end of the interaction. Let's move on.
Sleep. We're out of here.
No, actually, they find out the car's not stolen, but it's much worse. He's actually wanted by Las Vegas Metropolitan Police on suspicion of murder. So they're like, oh,
no.
Shit, this is even more complicated than if it was just a stolen car. That would have been easy to deal with.
Now I need
this sucks.
friends to help me tap on his window because I'm not walking up there by myself.
Yeah. They said California Highway Patrol. California High School Patrol said, twat twisted him. Said Monroe was listed as the only suspect in a homicide coming out of Clark County, Nevada. So they're like, okay, well, we got to talk to this guy, obviously. He was asleep in his car. Doesn't seem like he's in a big rush or anything. He's not acting crazy or acting bloodthirsty or anything like that. He is taken into custody. They grab him up with no incident. He doesn't freak out, nothing. Okay, you got to take me in. You got to take me in. Apparently, this is like 2/3 of the way between Vegas and Alameda, California, in Fresno. Okay. So it's kind of, this is pulling over to sleep. So they get him in there. They come in to bring him, now the Las Vegas police can come deal with him. Yeah. They impound his car, and they get a warrant and they're told to search the car. Yeah. And they search the car. And it's normal stuff, maps and things and stuff that you'd find in a car.
Road trip shit, yeah.
Road trip stuff, duffel bag, things like that. Yeah. Except in the trunk, there's something that most people don't carry in their car.
No?
Well, I mean, I don't. Maybe you do.
No.
Everybody out there, I don't know.
I got a checklist, yeah.
It's a severed pair of women's hands.
No, I leave those at home.
I don't take them. I keep them in the medicine cabinet.
He just has hands?
Otherwise. Just a set of women's hands. It's obviously a woman's hands, and they're just in his trunk. A set of severed hands that go together, clearly. So
no explanation.
They're like, what the fuck? No other parts of the body, of a body or of anything, just a pair of hands in his trunk. So they're
like, just sitting there, or are they wrapped in anything?
Oh, they're just in the trunk, just loosey-goosey like. Just, like you'd throw in a pair of shoes that you just took off after playing basketball. That's what, it's like, tossed them in there.
You make a left, they're on the right side. You make a right, they're on the left side, just like that.
Hey, go in the trunk. No, there's the tire jack's in there. Yeah, next to between the jack and the iron, there's going to be a set of women's hands back there. I just threw in the middle, on top of the spare. That's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Grab the bottle jack. Watch out for the hands.
Watch out for that. It's going to be gross. So they find out it's Perry Carl Monroe here. Like I said, 29 years old. A little bit of background on this guy of how a guy ends up on the side of the road with a pair of severed hands in his trunk, which I've never been caught for. Knock on wood, hey, you never know what happens. He grew up in
a trunk.
There you go. He grew up in Alameda, which is kind of a wealthy place.
Is it?
Upper crust kind of a joint. It's they call it here a small leafy island city in San Francisco Bay.
It's up there.
Yeah, that's connected to Oakland by bridges and a tunnel. So nice area there. And Perry Monroe came up and was a great kid. So how do you go from there to there? He went to Alameda High School. He graduated in 92. He was an actual really great athlete. He held several school records for swimming, several of them.
Yeah.
He's also the captain. Now, it's a very leafy, rich suburban environment because he was captain of the water polo team.
Fucking A.
My high school didn't have a water polo team.
I think every California school has one.
Man, it's water polo team. That is fucking crazy. He's the captain of the water polo team. So he's respected amongst his peers and his teammates and his coaches. And you have to be kind of a tough kid and the captain of any athletic team. Everyone has to respect you. But he's a tall, athletic.
He's real good in the water.
He's great in the water. Yeah, he takes to
Yeah.
it like a fish or like a horse in a polo environment.
Yeah.
You know, those horses take right to the water. They're great. It's real easy for him. It's amazing. It's something you throw like a golden retriever in, and you're like, look at him, he can swim. I didn't even teach him. Should see those horses go. So he's very popular. His classmates all think he's a hot shit kid. He is prom king for senior prom.
Oh, all right.
School records, captain of a team, prom king. He's doing great.
It's great. He swims, so he's got that fucking great upper body. Probably looks amazing in the tux.
He's probably, he's thin and lithe and it's swimmer's thing. This is the type of person that I would have just hated in high school because I'd be like, this fucking, there's no way he didn't have a good life. You know, that's the way I would look at it. This fucking guy has a good life. Fuck him.
He's always in a Speedo. He's always this close to getting a blowjob.
He came to the prom in a Speedo. It was crazy. That's why he was prom king. His quads were popping and people couldn't take it anymore. So he goes to college at the University of California, Davis, which is actually a very good school, Davis. It's not a bad
Davis
school
is
at
beautiful,
all.
yeah.
Very good school. And especially apparently a lot of people go to UC Davis end up going to medical school. It's a lot of that going on there, apparently. Yeah. It's not just for that, but it seems to be that's what happens there.
Stepstone to it, yeah.
So he goes to UC Davis. He takes pre-med courses, starts telling everybody he's going to be a doctor, and everybody believes him. He's champion and, smart guy and prom king. Why shouldn't he be a doctor? Why not be a doctor? So he's going to be a doctor. Once he gets to college, things start to be a little bit strange for Perry. I think this is a lot of times mental illness starts around this age. A lot of times you get that a lot. Like this is when a lot of different ailments will rear their heads, and even stuff that might have been there. Yeah, even stuff that might have been there under the surface will come to light when you go away to college. It's because that's when there's stressors and pressure.
Start to learn things about yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's kind of the tale of two Perrys is what I like to call this here. Like one side, he's the prom king and he's this amazing athlete and he's this guy everybody respects. But on the other side, there's to a lot of people, he's real forgettable and blends into the group and isn't. It's very strange. Like later on when they talk to one of his coaches from college, they talk about that the guy barely remembers him.
Oh, shit.
So it's just a very strange thing. He goes from one thing.
That is the chance you take when you succeed in high school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You might peak right the fuck here.
You might peak in high school. That's what happens to a lot of people.
I made sure
does.
that was never going to happen.
Yeah, luckily for me. Luckily for me, I stayed well in the valley of despair in high school. That was just real good. No one ever thought I'd amount to anything. No one thought I'd amount to anything, and they were right for the most part. But here we are, though. Hi, Netflix. Thank you. That's what's fun. I feel like Bill Hicks in that fucking Dangerfield special. Remember that joke?
Yeah. No.
Where he's talking about his ex-girlfriend, and he's saying how I just hope that he said I just hope that she's having a miserable life and her fat, disgusting, boil-covered, nasty, burping, farting boyfriend who's on top of her, humping her, who just died of a heart attack while he's on top of her while all of her kids are running around picking up roadkill to eat, and they got rickets and scurvy. And just as he dies on top of her and takes that last disgusting breath, she looks up at the TV and sees this. It's just like the most bitter. It's a longer thing. This lead up of how terrible her life is very fucking funny. They can go. And
I need her to be the lowest form of herself ever, and then to be seeing me on TV performing for hundreds right before.
Right before
the lowest moment of her life.
That's exactly right. There's people though that are going through Netflix going, is that that guy? What the fuck
that
happened?
Guy.
Yeah, what? I thought that guy would fucking end up in prison or something. Are you kidding me?
There's absolutely been at least 10 people that have seen our dumb faces and gone, What? How?
I'm telling you. It
Don't look at
certainly
me,
happened.
motherfucker.
I don't know. Here we are. So anyway, that's what Perry's doing here.
Yeah.
Perry is at UC Davis and becoming withdrawn in some areas, outgoing in some areas. He stops wanting to do pre-med. He realizes that's really hard. Pre-med is hard, and medical school is insane. So
I can't imagine.
And then he started attending classes more sporadically and just kind of stopped being real consistent with going.
Yeah.
He attends so sporadically that he basically goes to college for 9 years.
Wow.
He goes from 92 to 2001, dropping out for a while, getting back in, going back, coming out, going in, going out, just back and forth for 9 years.
If he'd have just stuck with it, he'd be a doctor by now and probably in a residency.
Been a goddamn doctor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead, he's like a sixth year senior, which is strange.
Oof.
I don't mean sixth year in college. I mean sixth year of being a senior itself, which is crazy.
Sixth year sophomore.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. He majored in history eventually, but never ends up getting his degree from Davis, and he eventually drops out and moves back. That's what he's been doing on and off. But after he's finally done for good, he just moves back in with his parents in Alameda.
Oh, 9 years to be qualified to be a basketball coach and a history teacher.
Not even, actually. He becomes a lifeguard and a water polo referee. So basically a job that you give to 17-year-olds, a job for 17-year-olds, and a job that I don't even know if they pay you for. Well, they get $40 a game. How much could you possibly get for referee and water polo? You know?
I mean, I did sign up to be a referee for high school football in like 2003, and it's literally $30 or $40 a game.
Yeah, that's what I mean. What more? What could you be getting for that?
That's when he was doing it. Yeah,
that's what I mean. I don't get what he could have been. It's strange. So that's it. He's just sitting there. Now rather than setting records and playing well, he just sits and watches people swim and watches people ride their water horses and do their thing.
For nothing.
For nothing. That's it. It's really weird. At one point, he goes even lower and attends Diablo Valley College, which I don't think that's a direct route to Yale, probably, if I'm guessing.
Where even is that?
Who the fuck? Diablo Valley, apparently. Anything with valley and college in it is probably not that great. You know,
and
Paradise Valley Community College is terrible. It's all not great.
Diablo Valley sounds like it's near Death Valley.
Probably. It's what it sounds like.
Good.
I think it's up by him, though, there. So now his friends, they see this happening. They see this guy who they knew that was this kind of star guy who's now living with his parents, doing menial jobs, and doesn't appear to have any ambition to do anything more than that.
Washed out at nearly 30 years old.
Yeah, this is when it was going on. 28. He's all washed out and got nothing to go on here. Some of them said maybe he was depressed. They thought maybe it was depression, and that wasn't like diagnosed, and maybe he needed some medication or he needed something, because there wasn't like one point in time where it was like he's normal one day and then that one day he did some crazy shit and he started acting weird. It's just this gradual thing that happened over time with him. A little less social, a little more skipped classes, moving home, just doing this kind of gradual mess. And they thought, he's a late bloomer. He's depressed. One of his friends, a high school friend of his that was talking to him still, said he just didn't talk. It was like mute almost. We just all chalked it up as, oh, he's depressed. I was like, say something. What's going on in your head? Come on, Perry, snap out of it. And he never snapped out of it. They thought they could just be like, come on, man, what's up? Let's go. All right, now, come on, let's go. All right. Come on, all right, let's do it. Then they go out on the field. Yeah. But it didn't work. And then other people started speculating, does he have maybe some autism mixed in there? But they were like, these didn't really show in high school, so that didn't make sense. So you don't develop autism in your mid-20s. That's not really how that works.
It doesn't gradually get worse, no.
So at one point, and we do not know when this happened. We don't know if this happened later after they found the hands or if this happened beforehand and he just wasn't telling a bunch of people.
Sorry.
Yes, that's on purpose. I'm glad you caught it, actually. Yeah. before.
fun.
I almost said before hands, but I was like, that might be a little too far.
Afterwards, before hands.
I was going to use it plural, but then I was like, maybe that's wrong. That could be mean. So I was like, if he gets it, he gets it. Fuck it. So he was at some point diagnosed with schizophrenia.
Okay. So he's got some mental health issues for sure.
Yes. Yeah. And that would explain a lot of this here. Like I said, we don't know what it is, but we know that we don't know when it came, but we know that's what it is here. Mm-hmm. And schizophrenia makes the most sense in terms of depression would too, but if it's something serious in terms of development, that's the timing when that comes on. Schizophrenia comes on late teens, early 20s. If you can make it past then, you most of the time you're okay. But
a lot of times that doesn't take a traumatic environment or event to trigger. That could just be genetic up there, ticking time bomb awaiting. Yeah.
Yes, schizophrenia isn't a environmental thing. You're not going to get schizophrenia because you can be like the kids who are like the Sybil, like severely abused kids can turn into
that triggers it. Yeah.
You can have personality splits and shit like that. But this kind of schizophrenia is a different thing. This is more biological.
Trauma that encourages it and magnifies it, but it typically doesn't. It isn't caused by the trauma.
No. Well, that kind can be the severe abusive kind where your personality splits off. You can get a perfectly healthy person, abuse the shit out of them, and that'll happen. But this is more of a biological thing from what I was reading on this, but I could be wrong on that, not sure. So now he has a few minor arrests over the years, all for misdemeanors, nothing serious. Dumb things here or
there.
Not
for hand collecting?
Never had a hand in his possession that didn't belong to him anyway.
All right.
Never charged with a violent crime or anything like that. Not considered a dangerous cat. And that's it. Most of the people with schizophrenia, they're usually victims more than they are perpetrators in the mathematical scheme of things. That's more how it works. So June 6th, 2003, this is, 3 weeks before he's found with hands in his car.
Right.
He tells his family that he's leaving home and he's going camping for a few days. He's going to be gone, taking off. Right. He just says, I'm going camping, and he leaves. Doesn't tell them where he's going, what he's doing exactly.
Yeah. They don't know anything about his mental health. They just know that he's acting strange at this point.
Absolutely. And he says he's going camping, so they're like, great, go camping, sure. Right. And he's 29 years old. What are you going to tell him? He wants to go camping. So he doesn't go camping, though. He instead drives back and forth across the country.
Really?
He goes as far as Florida.
Yeah, that's a distance.
And then back again. He passed through Utah, Colorado, Kansas, Virginia, the Carolinas, Georgia, Florida.
Oh, he went the long way.
Yeah, and then went back across the 40, I believe, that way. But he went all the way down and then all the way came back. We don't know why. Or exactly what he did.
Yeah.
Some camping in there. So it's just everywhere. He's all over the place here. So it's a big aimless loop of the country, which is like, I guess if you need some time to think, drive back and forth across the United States, you'll get it. I mean, somewhere in Oklahoma, we know this from credit card receipts later put together. Somewhere in Oklahoma, on the way back across the country, he'd been to Florida, he's on the way back, headed to Nevada. He stops in Oklahoma and he buys a hacksaw. Don't know the purpose of why he bought the hacksaw, what he thought he wanted the hacksaw for, but he buys a hacksaw in Oklahoma, throws that in with his shit and keeps going. Okay. June 22nd, 2003, a couple days before we find him with the hands. He arrives at the edge of Boulder City at a casino hotel on the highway to the dam. Okay? This is just outside of town, so gambling's legal here. This is the Hacienda Hotel. By the way, it is now the Hoover Dam Lodge, is now what it's called.
Do you know where it is? Because I feel like that sounds familiar that I've seen it. Is it right there by the dam, or is it further?
It's like... I don't have the exact address on here, but
is it past? Is this town past Lake Mead? Or Mead. Yeah,
I don't know. I have no idea.
I wonder if it's before or after the dam. You know what I mean?
I'm not positive. It just says it's on the highway to the dam, so we don't know which way. If you're coming to it from Vegas or to it from Arizona, I'm not sure. But either way, it's right outside of it. But it's the Hoover Dam Lodge. First, it was the gold strike, and then it was largely destroyed by a fire. in June of 1998. So it reopened the next year as the Hacienda, and then it took on its other name, Hoover Dam Lodge, later. It's surrounded by Lake Mead National Recreation Area, 3 miles from Hoover Dam. It overlooks Lake Mead and has a 17-story tower with 372 rooms.
That's what it is. It's that shit.
Right there.
It's that area north of
you pass by this when you
It's right as you come around.
We've seen. I have a couple reviews of this just because why not?
Oh, great.
Let's find out what people think. Here is 1 star. The casino has had its day. The slots never hit. The people are zombies that work there, and it never has anyone there as far as customers. I don't think this place will be around much longer. The bartender with the ponytail has a bad attitude and apparently hates his job. Good luck if you stop at this place. Yep. Yeah, because he's a scumbag with a ponytail working in the middle of the desert with no customers. You'd be pissed too. I bet it's thin up top too.
Yeah, I feel like that's the exact same reviews of everything in Laughlin, but somehow it keeps going.
It keeps persisting. And then finally, 1 star here. Without a doubt, the worst day of my life. We like to always joke when people say that. The hotel is in the middle of nowhere, especially the rooms have a heavy vibe. A heavy vibe? The fuck does that mean? And the rooms, the rooms have other doors that lead to other rooms, meaning that at any time they can enter the room. Those are called adjoining doors, and there's locks on both sides, stupid.
You just lock it.
You just lock it. Please, if you're going to spend the night there, think twice. There are very scary stories about that place, and if you're reading this, I warned you. Now, we're telling one of the scary stories about this place. It's about to happen.
That person slept, James, and did not sleep. They lay in bed with their covers over their face, looking at 2 doors all night.
Staring at the adjoining room door. Listening to the neighbor's TV. For any signs that they might snap. So Perry comes to this hotel, checks in, uses his own name, his credit card, all that kind of thing, checks into room 1651. So pretty high up there.
16th floor
in the tower.
51. Yeah.
Now, the night clerk who checked him in, essentially, in the evening, he described Perry as extremely skittish and noted that he refused to make any eye contact with him, which he said it just gave him an uneasy feeling. I mean, this is a motel in the middle of goddamn nowhere. You're going to get weirdos going back and forth all the time. So if someone actually is weird enough to make this guy notice it, they're probably acting pretty fucking weird, you know? Yeah. You wouldn't notice
skittish
that normally.
Is a weird way to I've never described a person that way.
Yeah, it's like a cat or a dog that's been abused or something.
An animal.
Yeah. It's always an animal. Skittish because they go and they run away. Yeah. So he gets in, checks in, goes up to 1651. At some point in the evening, not in the middle of the night, some point in the evening, he calls down and requests 4 towels, specifically. Not enough towels. Yeah. Needs 4 towels. So they said, great, we'll send a maid up to take care of you and bring your towels. About a half hour after the first call, he called back again to say, still haven't got my towels. It's been a half hour. What's up with that? Now, the thing is, the maid here, she said she forgot. She said, oh, shit, my bad. I'll go take care of that right now, and I'll go up there, and then promised to make the delivery. So that's what we hear from him. Now, the next morning, June 23rd, 2003, Perry's already gone. He takes off pretty early, leaves the motel. A maid comes in because, person is checked out. They come in to clean, walk in, and sees immediately a bloody towel and blood all over the bathroom.
Really?
He goes, oh, shit. Now, she had heard over the course of the night that a coworker of hers had gone missing over the course of the night. That's what the rumor going around the hotel is one of the maids. An
employee of the hotel.
Is missing. Yeah. She went missing over the course of the night. And we'll tell you all about that in a second. So this maid is very smart. She puts together, someone's missing, there's fucking blood everywhere, and she immediately backs out of the room, doesn't touch a fucking thing. Doesn't start spraying 409 on the tiles or anything like that, luckily. Mm-hmm. She steps out and shuts the door and calls the police immediately.
1 room less that I have to clean.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Fucking detectives could take care of that.
Didn't want to do it anyway.
So the missing employee is a woman named LaDonna Milam, M-I-L-A-M. She's 49 years old, a Boulder City resident, married to a man named Jerry Millam, and she's a mother of two. Yeah. She worked as a maid and porter at the Hacienda Hotel and Casino, and she's been working there a while. She works the night, like the evening shift. I think she gets off at midnight or something. Second shift, I guess you want to call it. Just going from room to room to room. You've seen the maids pushing carts. You know what they're doing. Yeah. So she's doing all of this, and these are like the invisible people in the hotel. Mm-hmm. Like, unless you say hi to them, they just like look, they're like, you don't want to talk to. I always feel bad for the maids. I really do. Because they always look like, if you're walking down the hallway, they always look like, oh, I'm in your way. I'm sorry. And it's like, you're okay. Yeah. Relax. You're doing your job. And give me another towel. Yeah,
they never, anytime I've ever talked to a maid, they've always wanted me to not do that.
I'll just walk by and I go, hello, and they just always go,
I'd say hello, but then they're like,
yeah.
You need towel? No. And they give me a dirty look like, then what do you want?
Why do you, and a lot of these women don't speak English too, which is.
There's that too.
So,
there's
they know you want towel as conversation. They don't really know a lot. Some of them, some of them speak perfect English, but so anyway, that's what she's been doing. This was a Sunday night. She went to work. She's in touch with her husband all the way through the night too.
Yeah.
That night, she'd spoken with her husband, Jerry, around 6:30 that evening, and she told him she would call again at 9:30. So I'll have another break at 9:30, and I'll call you then. So this is what happens when someone's at work and you're a spouse. You say, I got another break here. I'll call you then. She never called at 9:30. But Jerry, he fell asleep waiting. So when she didn't call at 9:30, he didn't notice because he was sleeping.
He woke up. Yeah.
He woke up a few hours later and not only saw that he missed her call, but also saw that she wasn't home yet and she should have been home already.
Right.
So he's like, okay, this isn't good. So he called the Boulder City police immediately and reported her missing.
Wow.
She didn't call, or she called, I missed the call, and she didn't come home. So I'm calling the cops, which is you'd think he'd go down there first, see if she's like working late. Maybe she had to pick up a shift or something.
Call the hotel. Anything. Yeah.
He called the police. So the officers in the hotel, they checked, which is smart that he did though, because the officers go to the hotel and they go, okay, well, they hit her on the walkie-talkie. She hasn't come. She's nowhere to be found. Then they go outside and notice her car is in the parking lot and her purse is still in her employee locker, but she's nowhere to be found.
Huh.
So people generally don't run away without their purse and car.
No, there's not enough on that cleaning cart to sustain life.
Well, maybe, she just got on top of it and rode it to freedom. That's she's like, there's a hill outside. I'm going to hit it. Fuck it. So it's not a lot there. So she's missing and presumed to have many, many tiny soaps. That was the missing person report.
Yeah, she's on the upside of hand towels.
Oh, so many hand towels and tiny soaps.
A very crusty, awful hand towel.
Yeah. So she's missing, and this is scary now. Her purse is in her locker, her car is here, and she's nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
Not good. Looked like she just disappeared into thin air, essentially. Right. She didn't run away. She's not here. No. So what the fuck happened? Right. So they go inside the room and investigate further inside 1651. And they find packaging for a hacksaw in the garbage, like the plastic thing it came in. Yeah. They find a hacksaw blade in the trash. By the way, a bloody hacksaw blade they find in the trash.
Oh, shit.
A blood-soaked towel, blood all over the bathroom, strands of hair on the floor and in the garbage that are bloody and consistent with LaDonna's hair, color, and length.
Yeah.
So they're starting to get a little bit worried here, obviously. Then later that morning, there's a fisherman doing some fishing by a pond, and a woman walking her dog early, nice early morning or, mid-morning, not even early, but mid-morning thing. It's the pond at Veterans Memorial Park, a couple miles away. Yeah. And this woman with her dog sees what she describes as, quote, body parts floating in the water.
Oh, boy.
And she calls the police. This is not a big giant thing. It's a small pond in a small park. They stock it with fish so that the kids can fit. It's one of those places. Instead, what they find floating is, well, it's a woman's torso.
Yeah.
But it's cut in two pieces.
Oh, Jesus.
So
right down the
picture
middle?
That. I think so. I believe so.
Oh, fuck.
So that'd be the easiest way to cut it, I would think.
You'd think so, right?
So yeah, two pieces of a woman's torso floating, with obviously the no head or limbs, just the torso. Yeah. The abdomen bore a single vertical incision, so it was just right down the middle. Okay, this woman obviously called the police. They come, they're like, holy shit. They respond to the park. First, they thought maybe someone was lying. Yeah. Not even lying, like. It's not a fucking two pieces of a torso. It's probably, a duck that died. Yeah. A coyote got a hold of a duck and threw it, ate half of it, threw it in the water, or whatever the fuck it is. It's something. Yeah, people love dismembering their mannequins too. So we know that. So they'd secure the area, and then they start looking around, and they're trying to figure out how much of an area to secure.
Right.
They find in the grass near the pond a human ear. Just
what?
An ear, still wearing an earring.
Oh my God, just pieces.
Which is disturbing. In a nearby trash can, they find a blood-soaked, multicolored blouse and a bra. And they're not sitting right on top in the trash can. They're pushed under a bunch of shit, buried in there. They get National Park Service divers who search the pond. I mean, it's a small pond, and they comb it. They find no other parts of her.
All
half
we've got
torso,
are 3 pieces?
We have half a torso and an ear, and then obviously 2 hands. We're missing legs, feet, arms, and a fucking head we have not found yet.
Yeah, and feet. If those are attached to the legs, still.
Legs,
and the other
feet,
ear. We're missing so much.
There's just way too. We have less. We're missing more than we have, essentially.
Yes, that's the answer.
So they have to bring her husband in to make sure it's her because it's just a torso. So how the fuck do you identify a torso quickly? The husband comes in and does identify her torso based on marks and that kind of thing.
Tattoos or something, yeah.
Something. 2003, not a lot of 49-year-old women had tattoos. In 2003.
I guess that's true, yeah.
Not a lot of 50-year-old, unless they were like biker gang chicks back in the day. That's
really
not a lot.
Wild in the 80s, yeah.
They might have a tramp stamp, but not 49. Yeah. That's the thing. That's when young women were getting tattoos, but not a lot of older women were.
Most women that had tattoos just had like Tony Soprano's sister's tattoo.
Yeah. Or a butterfly or a sun. A lot of that going on, shit like that. So her husband identifies. Playboy Bunny was a big one. Yeah. You knew you were in for a good time at that point if you saw that.
Yeah.
So the Clarks County Coroner's Office is awaiting DNA test results to confirm, but they believe her husband that it's her. Yeah. And the fact that she's missing and there's nobody else missing and there she is, it all makes sense. Yeah. Now they're like, why the fuck there? Because this isn't. There's so how much but people out there, if I could explain to you how much exactly volume of desert there is around this area.
Oh, my God.
It is just incalculable amounts of desert for miles, hundreds of miles in every direction. So
that part in Casino when De Niro is watching Nikki drive up, that could have taken so much longer.
Could have taken, he was they cut to that late. He was watching him come for about, 45 minutes, really. He saw him coming. It's so much out there.
In Oklahoma or Nebraska, when you look out across the plains, that's how much desert is in Nevada. So but multiply it, it's a bigger state.
It's huge. So it's just thousands of square miles of nothing, and the body wouldn't be found for a long time out there for the most part. Animals would eat it. If anybody ever found it, it's, there's tons of bodies out there. Sure. But this is just like a weird, disorganized thing. This is just basically you leave the hotel. It's a few miles away. It's the closest place that he thought to do it. Just toss them in here. That'll work.
And not everything.
No, not everything, because it's all she's all chopped up. So anyway, they get some video from the hotel to try to find out who this guy is and get a description of him and all that, and to see if they can find out anything. Hotel surveillance later shows Perry heading toward the elevators carrying a large black duffel bag. This is on the way up to his room, which is not abnormal. A guy with a duffel bag checking into a hotel room, pretty normal. Then at about 1 a.m., the security footage shows him coming back down. It's 1 a.m. It's Perry, and he's walking back toward the elevators carrying a large black duffel bag, now wearing a backpack as well. Oh. And the report in the video, they noted that the objects appeared heavy. He was visibly struggling to carry both the backpack and the fucking duffel bag.
Okay.
That's how he just took a pieced out woman out of the fucking hotel room.
Put pieces of her in a backpack and then the rest into a duffel.
Into a big duffel bag, and he's visibly struggling. So at this point, they're like, well, where the fuck is he? Mm-hmm. He could be anywhere. Literally. He stopped at he doesn't live in Vegas or outside of Vegas. He stopped at a place outside of Vegas. He could have driven in he could be in Mexico right now. We have no goddamn idea. He could have just driven through Arizona. Who knows? So then they're looking for him. It's an all-out thing. And June 24th, the next day, is when they end up They find him sleeping outside the rest stop with hands in his trunk.
Right, Alameda.
So that's an easy problem solved there. And now they find him there, and they take in obviously the hands, and I'm sure bring those to Nevada and all that kind of thing here. They look in the trunk, they find the hands, and they also find what they describe as a possible murder weapon and an implement that could have been used to dismember the body as well of LaDonna. The Las Vegas police lieutenant said, "We recovered what we think is the murder weapon as well as the weapon used for dismemberment, which is the hacksaw. Sans one blade at least, because we know there's one in the garbage back there.
It's got a spare at least."
Yeah, and they said that the police have declined to say whether they believe the hands were LaDonna's or not. Pretty good chance they're hers, I would say.
Anybody else missing any?
Anybody? Yeah, is there hands missing anywhere else in Nevada? Yeah. Now they're like, the other thing they're trying to figure out once they arrest him and bring him in is, why did he do this?
What the fuck?
They all assume rape, obviously. Maid comes up to the room, he rapes her, she struggles, he kills her, knocks her out, does something, whatever. But when they examine the body, or at least the torso part of it, they rule out any kind of sexual assault.
Oh.
So there is no sexual assault. This was not about rape. Which makes it mind-boggling even more. Worse. Yeah. It's grosser if it's about rape, but if it's not about rape, what the fuck is it about? You know what I mean? Right. That's even scarier. So no robbery. She didn't have anything. Her purse is in her locker. Yeah. What does he want? More soap? Take as many as you need. Like, what are we talking about? No relationship, no history between them. He's never even been in this fucking town before. There's nothing at all to connect them. It does not make any sense. She carries up four towels. It could have been any maid carrying up 4 towels. So it's not even like he saw her and was like, I'm going to get her in here and kill her. He didn't know who the hell was going to come up there. Could have been anybody. There's a bunch of maids in a 17-story hotel. Think about it.
And he asked her to bring you and things I'm going to need after I'm done with you.
Yeah, when I'm done with you.
Unbelievable.
Thinking ahead.
Yeah.
And that's the fucked up part, too, is this isn't something that you could be careful and have not happen to you. That's why this is scary. No matter how careful you are, if you're just doing your job, somebody can murder you. I mean, it makes no sense. So reporters called all around Alameda after this because they found out this is some water polo kid with school swimming records, and like, this is strange. So it became a thing.
6-year sophomore, James.
6th-year sophomore. They started calling around. They talked to Casey Mooningham, who was a teammate in high school of his, and he said, I don't know what happened. He was a good guy. I feel bad for his family.
Me too.
One of a water polo coach named Martin Muniz said he had seen Monroe years later working as a referee at matches and remembered him as someone who completely blended into the background. He said that he watched, and he said in between periods, he would sit down and have his drink of water. He was not someone who would stand out. It took me a while to remember him. Nothing ever stood out about him. Just a wallpaper guy. Now they do look at this, and it's an interesting thing because it's a very disorganized murder. extremely disorganized. It's a mess. But at the same time, he kept a trophy. He kept a couple hands, and he bought the hacksaw 2 states ago. 3 states ago. So that's interesting. He made no attempt to dispose of the hands or hide it or the hacksaw. Apprehended with no struggle, didn't try to run away. You're not taking me alive. None of that shit. It makes no sense. Like, guys who do this usually plan their escapes or have some sort of. He didn't do anything.
Bizarre. Yeah.
And it doesn't show also that he planned to do this in the room. He didn't check in with this as his goal that night, because why would you use your own name and your own credit card at that point?
Yeah, you don't want him to know.
No, that makes no sense. And also,
unless the whole plan is do everything so I get caught so I go to jail forever. But that's never anybody's plan.
No, I mean, he could have walked out playing fucking patty cake with somebody's hands down in the lobby. That would have done it. You know, that would have going to jail for that.
Yeah.
But this, he fell asleep on the side of the road. Just none of it makes sense. It's very odd.
Yeah.
So he's held in California jail without bail. There's a slight little thing about extradition, but he ends up being extradited. And the initial charges were murder with a deadly weapon and kidnapping. Yeah. Well, it would have to be a deadly weapon if you used it for murder, wouldn't it?
Sure.
But I guess it was something that's specifically a deadly weapon. I guess I could take a bowling pin and I could take a bowling pin and beat you to death, but murder with I guess that would still be a deadly weapon at that point. Anyway,
your hand?
No, I said you could take a bowling pin. And, So notably here, the early court documents allege the crimes were committed with the purpose of committing sexual assault, but then they get the forensic evidence later on and realize that ain't it at all.
Huh.
So now the prosecution doesn't know how to really go about this, because there's nothing to really. Why did he do this? They don't know. You know, they can't say he's a sex fiend and she fought him off and then he killed her. Like they don't have that narrative. So
you need a good narrative to spin the charges in a way that keeps this person off the street for a safe amount of time.
I would say. Las Vegas police also contact law enforcement agencies across the country to ask about any unsolved killings in the last month, because he just came all the way across the country and back. Who's to say he just got bloodthirsty in Nevada? He could have a trail of bodies throughout the South. Then on June 27th, this is all happening very quickly. June 27th, there's another trial in Northern California that's about to start. Remember that one? That is Scott Peterson's murder trial.
Oh, yeah.
For killing his wife, Lacey, there. Now, they say immediately Perry is a suspect in this case, and they're using Perry as an alternate suspect.
Scott wants that so bad.
He's from the area. He wants it so bad. Yeah.
Body in water.
Yep, they said the woman's head, hands, and feet were not recovered. Hands were recovered. Nevada authorities were not able to confirmation. Lacey Peterson's body, they said, was recovered without a head and feet as well. So that's a similarity. They also said that Scott here, or Scott's attorney, Mark Garagos, who was also Michael Jackson's attorney for a lot of child molestation shit, if I'm not mistaken, refused to comment on the Vegas case, citing a court-imposed gag order. But the defense team has talked in court about finding evidence pointing to the real killers, and now they're saying that he might be the guy, basically. Because they're saying this is exactly what they were looking for. Authorities have drawn parallels to Perry, who lived in Alameda here. They said there's also other murders they're trying to connect him to as well. They found the body of Evelyn Hernandez washed ashore along the bay in July of 2002, days away from delivering a baby, when she and her 5-year-old son disappeared in May of 2002. Lacey Peterson, obviously. Also, parts of dismembered bodies were discovered in a trash bin in Davis, where he went to college and was living for a while, in June. There's also the torso of a woman, head, hands, and feet missing, was recovered as well in another place. So there's a bunch of these type of crimes that they're worried about. Some legal specialists say attempting to connect the cases is logical. One person says, from the defense perspective for Peterson, they would explore any reasonable alternative that might explain the disappearance of Lacey Peterson that ain't fucking Scott. Can they explain how he was fishing in the exact fucking spot she was found? Because that'd be the craziest coincidence of all time. Again, you can
They
take
explain why a meticulous house has half a piece of pizza in the fridge.
That's my pizza theory. Yeah, but no, that you could take all the evidence and throw it right in the garbage and go, he fished, he almost caught his wife's body with all the water around there. That'd be the biggest coincidence of all time. So anyway, the public defender here, who briefly represented Scott Peterson in the early stages before he got a real lawyer, said that you don't find dismembered bodies often. I think you're obligated to look into it. They said from the perspective of the authorities, you have an obligation to try and figure out if it fits. If there's evidence out there to suggest the defendant didn't do it, you have an obligation to look at it and turn that over as well. So they should even do it. Now, one of the police officers, Tom Monahan from Las Vegas, called the speculation of a link between LaDonna Millam's murder and the Peterson murder an absurd theory.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Now, July 4th, 2003, they're talking about these Davis murders, and they're saying, what has Perry done? Did he do this? This is interesting. The link caught these people's attention, the police officers. They were investigating the June 3rd discovery of human bones in an Olive Drive mobile home park. The commingled remains of upper and lower extremities belonging to as many as 4 bodies were left in a plastic bin next to the dumpster. Didn't even have the wherewithal to throw it in the dumpster. Just I'll put it on here. No one will. They'll pick this up too.
Or keep them separate. Just mingled it's just like all
stuffed them in a thing together.
Yeah, just like the bones of several of several rotisserie chickens just tossed together,
stuffing them in there down there. They said that a former resident of the property was questioned by police and the FBI. His home and yard were searched, but there's no arrests. They found no evidence that Monroe lived in the mobile home park while he attended college, but he certainly lived around the area. Yeah. So they said that Monroe, you never know with this guy, basically. They're talking about also his travels and other states where he could have been. One of the investigators said it's still very, very early. It wasn't until today that we were able to piece together the route he took even across the country. So now we have to see whatever. But they're trying to find that Davis one they're very interested in. They said we found out about it a week ago, but we haven't found a connection yet. But that's interesting. There's also shitloads of conspiracy. This blew up the fucking early 2003 internet conspiracy theory, true crime thing. This blew up huge. Scott Peterson, there's tons of conspiracy theories behind it, but this one became a huge one. I'm going to read somebody's thing here. Take a look at the map. They put up maps where things were found and bodies were found. It would be easy for someone to drive from Davis to Modesto and back to the San Francisco Bay Area. Do you believe in coincidences? Because it's a pretty big coincidence that 3 women have been killed in similar ways. The bodies of the 2 women were found less than 10 miles from the home of the man who has the hands of the 3rd woman in his car. Is the rumor mill news going to be the only media that connects the dots? Where are the rest of the media? When are they going to start connecting the dots and asking the tough questions? By the way, those articles I was reading earlier were in the Fresno Bee, the Modesto. They're in the newspaper.
I hate when they do that.
No one will look at it.
Media. Shut the fuck up.
Here's 20 articles on it, stupid. What are you talking about? Yeah. Or will law enforcement clamp down on this and try to hide it? If they are hiding something, why are they hiding it? These murders are so horrendous that they need to be fully investigated. The only reason law enforcement would have for hiding these murders is if Mr. Monroe was a subject in some kind of nefarious government experiment.
Right.
It gets crazier. The area in which he has lived has long been known for government experiments. The city of Hayward is near Alameda, and I know for a fact that mind control experiments have been going on there. Are the various DAs and police being ordered by someone in California or the U.S. government to back off? The only way we'll ever get answers is if the regular media starts asking the right questions. The ones I'm asking, because I'm always right. I'm certain
I asked
that
the right
most
questions.
only me, that most people who are working for the regular media would want the answers as much as we do. How do we make them ask the right questions? The last thing I want to point out is Perry Monroe was arrested while he slept in Fresno, California. I wonder what he was doing in Fresno. Did he drive to Fresno to kill again, or was he just passing through Fresno on his way home? If I were Amber Fry, I would be wondering if he was in Fresno looking for me. Wow. And if you don't know, the Amber Fry is the woman that Scott Peterson was cheating on, was cheating with his mistress and all that, the reason why he bought the boat and all that crap. So
I follow her on Instagram.
Yeah. That was a lot, dude.
That's
Think
crazy.
about that.
To
That
get all the
is
way
a lot.
down to he was probably looking for Amber. You don't try to connect everything to this.
Nope, that is a lot. And so they're trying to say maybe all of the ones that Scott Peterson's team tries to say that must have been the same killer and not him. They're trying to now put those all on Perry, make it all a clean package.
Okay. But Perry now is so invested in this. Now he's going to go kill the mistress as well, because that would make zero sense.
Coming for you, bitch. That's right. They're talking about Evelyn Hernandez, Rebecca Rachel Miller, Alice Sin, Angelina Joy Evans, Michelle Chan, Dina Rayleigh McCluskey, Kristen Modafferi, Gail Marks, Cindy Vanderheiden, Evelyn Jones, Tracy Diane Melton, Maria Dolores Pacheco, Vanessa Dawn Smith, Jan Scharf, Doris Inzunza. That's who they're all
just
these
going
women.
through all the missing people in the area and saying he did it.
Everybody from around there, because they're all short distances these are all within 20 miles of Perry's house, basically. So that's what they're saying. Maybe that's that. Maybe he's a serial killer, because basically in an area with a radius of 80 miles over a 5-year period, 17 women disappeared. Some have been found dead, some dismembered, some in the bays of San Francisco, some still missing. Most of these women went missing in the last 3 years of this happening. So they're like, this might have been Perry, but none of it held up.
No.
It was just built on geography and that he's also, wackadoo. That's it, basically. None of it held up. He didn't connect with anything. In his initial court appearance, his public defender here for Perry said, he's talking with me and he's not very lucid. He doesn't seem to be aware of the situation he's in.
Right.
So they give him some competency tests here, and the public defender said he's unable to communicate clearly. He's unable to state what the charges are and what the penalties could be. Because competency,
it's such a silly theory though, because he did this, he did all of those meticulously and didn't get caught, and then he does this shit mad lazy and sloppy. Also, he drove all the way the fuck to Florida. Why would he go to Florida if he's thriving around here? It's just the dumbest
thriving
theory.
in murder. It's people love conspiracy theories. That's all it is. There's so many of them, and they're very rarely true. This competency thing, though, this is about competent now to go on trial, not competent. Yeah. It's different than were you sane during the crime? This is, are you competent now to stand trial? Okay. So they said, he's unable to communicate clearly. 2 psychologists have found that he is mentally unstable and unable to immediately stand trial. He can't to assist in his defense. The Clark County prosecutor said it doesn't mean he can't stand trial. It means at this point he can't assist counsel. Right. So he gets sent to Lakes Crossing Center in Sparks, Nevada, the state's only maximum security forensic psychiatric facility. Yeah. This is where they send you to try to get you all good again, drug you all up and send you back to court here. There's a medication.
From Reno.
Yeah, there's a medication battle that he'll be forced to take medication so he can stand trial. And they're saying, I think the medication can get him competent, the prosecutor said. The defense is saying you're forcing him to take medication. Okay. It's just they have those fights all the time. So that's what they're doing. They said there is a probability of achieving competence in the foreseeable future if Lakes Crossing Center is allowed to administer the appropriate psychotropic medication, is what the district attorney said.
All right.
The one case said that they can't force him to be medicated during the trial.
Oh.
They said that's up to the defense, but they can medicate him to get him ready for the trial. But once the trial goes, you can't tell a guy what mental state to be in during the trial. Now, Jerry, the husband, LaDonna's husband, said he's trying to play this whole insanity shit. But the prosecutor said, actually, in response in the paper, said, I don't have any information that he's faking. I think it's possible he may have mental illness of some sort, but he does fit the standard that makes, but does he fit the standard that makes him criminally insane? I don't know if I agree with that at this point. In September 2005, he is competent for a minute here while taking Seroquel. They give him Seroquel and he feels a little bit better. But they said what happens when he gets out of there and they put him out of the center, they're going to put him in jail, and the jail, that's out of their budget. They're not going to give him the Seroquel, and then you're going to have to put him right back in there again.
We're not going to give him antipsychotic meds. All right.
No, so no, they don't pay. It's too cheap. They don't.
Yeah.
You're in there to rot. That's how they do it. It's crazy. So anyway, 2006, a preliminary hearing is put out. It's postponed. The trial's postponed. Years go by. Evaluations, medications, hospital transfers. He's competent. He's not competent. Sometimes he would just refuse to leave his cell and come to court. Couldn't get him out. Wouldn't leave.
Okay.
So that's 2006 through 2014. This goes on. Jerry, LaDonna's husband, moved to Kingman, Arizona, the poor bastard, at some point in here.
Fuck, Jerry.
Jesus Christ, just to maybe to get away from the whole thing. December 14th, 2000, or December of 2014, he's finally ready, and they are going to, because they were going for the death penalty in 2005, they're talking about. By now they realize, okay, he's fucking nuts, and if we can get him sane enough to plead guilty and give him a life sentence, fuck it, get him out of here. He's never going to be sane through a whole death penalty trial. So he pleads guilty. Wow. 1 count of first-degree murder with use of a deadly weapon and 1 count of first-degree kidnapping with use of a deadly weapon. Death penalty off the table. And they sentence him to, you, sir, may fuck off. 2 life sentences, no parole.
Wow.
That's fine. You know, I think this guy's nuts. I mean, that
Prison,
that
or do they go to a mental hospital?
It depends on how crazy he is in prison.
Yeah.
They might send him to the mental side once he's there, but this is criminal. He's going to prison.
That's done.
It's just straight prison. Now, Jerry, the husband, said he described dealing with the loss of his wife, simply. He said it was hard, it was awful, and he said, but, quote, it's over with, and I've just got to walk away from it and leave it alone. If you go prying into that stuff, you get in trouble, big trouble with yourself. So I'm not going to get involved anymore because it's going to fuck me up. And that's a smart way to look at it, Jerry. I'm with you. So there you go, everybody. That is Boulder City, and that is Perry Monroe.
Wow.
And a fucking wacky-ass case, right? It's just that's a wild one.
That's too bad.
That is crazy. Yeah, poor LaDonna. She did nothing to anybody. She delivered towels to a fucking room, for Christ's sake. Didn't even know this guy.
Yeah, it happens a lot, obviously.
Yeah,
but there
random.
was zero to gain. Nothing.
Nothing.
Got nothing out of that.
4 extra towels that he could have got anyway. So there you go. If you like this story, get on whatever app you're on. Give us 5 stars. It helps so much. I don't know why, but it does. If you're on Netflix, thumbs up is really helpful, so we appreciate that shit. Thank you for doing that. Give 2. Do it twice. So do that. Please also head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Get your tickets for live shows. Get all your merchandise there as well. We got tons of shit on there for merchandise, live shows. Looks like Milwaukee on September 18th is finally sold out. I don't know if we have any holds or anything that we have that we might be able to release. We'll let you know about that. But the Minneapolis the next night, September 19th, State Theater. Get your tickets there. Dallas on October 3rd, October 16th, 17th, San Jose, Sacramento, November 13th, 14th. Boston, Terrytown. So get your tickets right now. Shutupandgivememurder.com. Social media at Small Town Murder on Instagram, at Small Town Pod on Facebook. You can do that all the time. Come back hanging out with us and keep coming back and hanging out with us. Patreon.com/CrimeInSports. That's where you get all the bonus material. It's the best Patreon there is. I'm telling you right now, anybody $5 a month. You get tons of shit. First of all, as soon as you subscribe, you're going to get almost 400 back bonus episodes you never heard before. New ones every other week. 1 Crime and Sports, 1 Small Town Murder. You get them all. This week, old-timey articles for crime and sports, and they were amazing. They were so good. And then for Small Town Murder, Love After Lockup Season 7. Christ, we had a ball with that, too.
So good.
So get in there. So good. Find that out and see what you want to do with that. So that is, shutupandgivememurder.com there. Patreon.com/crimeinsports. And you get everything we put out ad-free as well. And on top of that, you get a shout out at the end of the regular show. So keep doing that. Come back and see us. Shutupandgivememurder.com has drop-down menus. It'll take you everywhere you need to go. That said, until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.